different concepts here. What something is like. For example, ¿qué tiempo hace hoy? What is the weather like? ¿Cómo es Andalucía? Nunca he estado. What's Andalucía like? ¿Cómo es Canadá? What's Canada like? ¿Cómo es tu amiga Linda? What's Linda like? What is she like? ¿Qué tal la fiesta? ¿Qué tal todo? What was the party like? Well, it had already started by the time I got there. By the time. Para cuando yo quise llegar, ya había casi terminado. By the time I got there, by the time I arrived, by the time I got to the party, it had already started, and in fact, it was finishing by the time I got there. Yeah? So really, I don't know what the party was like. What was the party like? I don't know what the party was like because it was finishing. By the time I got there, it was almost over. It was almost over by the time I got there.
Welcome back, English fans, to some more advanced level stuff, más cosas de nivel avanzado. Espero que estéis preparados y dispuestos a articular todo lo que estamos practicando aquí en voz alta, delante de vuestros televisores, porque si no, el único que va a hacer ridículo aquí soy yo, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces todos quiero que gritéis en voz alta la siguiente frase. What was the party like? It had already ended by the time I got there. ¿Qué significa? Pues, ¿qué tal la fiesta? ¿Cómo fue la fiesta? Pues ya había terminado para cuando llegue ahí. Es nuestra forma más habitual de decir ¿qué tal fue? What was something like? What was the party like? What was the concert like? No solemos decir how was the party, sino what was the party like? Siempre acabando con la palabra like. What was the gig like? The gig, nuestra palabra del día, que es una forma coloquial de referirnos a un concierto, normalmente de música pop, ¿vale? O rock. What was the gig like? G-I-G, nuestra palabra del día. What was the party like? What was the meeting like? ¿Ok? Siempre así. Lo que sí es interesante, que vamos a ver en la siguiente parte, es que nunca empleamos like en la respuesta a esa pregunta.
I'm so tired. Estoy cansadísimo. Yeah, I was working all night. Estaba trabajando toda la noche. And I missed the staff party. Yeah, can you believe it? ¿Te lo puedes creer? I missed the staff party. Oh, man. I'm going to find out what it was like. Me voy a enterar. Hey, Mike. Hey. How's it going? How are you? Cool. What was the party like? Oh, yeah? Oh, wow. Hold on 1 second. Hey, fijaos, he dicho, what was it like? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo fue? What was it like? What was the party like? Repítelo conmigo. What was it like? What was it like? Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right. And what was the music like? Oh, I love that kind of music. Oh, man. All right, what was the food like? Oh, caviar? Seriously? Oh, man.
Bien, preguntadme, ¿qué tal la fiesta? Venga, en voz alta, todos. A la vez, 1, 2 y 3. What was the party like? Muy bien. Y con más energía. What was the party like? Pues os lo voy a decir. It had already ended by the time I got there. Ya había terminado para cuando yo llegué allí. It had already ended. Fijaros donde coloco already, la palabra already. Ya. It had already ended. It had already started. Ya había empezado. ¿Ya? It had already begun. Otra forma de decir ya había empezado. ¿Ok? It had already ended. It had already started. Siempre colocamos already después del verbo auxiliar. En este caso, had. Ya había. It had already ended. También, a la hora de hablar, podemos hacer la contracción it'd. Algo que nunca escribíamos, pero sí lo podemos decir. It had already ended. It had already ended. ¿Vale? El verbo to end, por cierto, como acaba en D, pues aunque sea regular, hemos de pronunciar la ed al final. It had already ended. Y pronunciamos como si fuese id, y latina D. Ended, ¿ok?
Oh, Mis cielos. Estoy intentando ponerme en forma. To be a good maid, you have to be in shape. I'm always late these days because I'm not in shape. You know, this morning I went to Felicity's aerobics class and it had already started when I arrived. Eso. Decimos, it had already started. Esta vez sin contracción. It had already started. And last Sunday, I went to a football match. It had already started when I arrived. And what a pity. We were beating them 4-0. The meeting last week had already started when I arrived. And I didn't want to interrupt, you know. My favorite TV program. It has already started. I have to go. I'm sorry. Bye.
¿Cómo se decía en inglés concierto? Eso es concert, pero no era la palabra que buscaba, porque yo buscaba nuestra palabra del día. ¿Os acordáis de la primera parte? Eso es a gig. Muy bien, en la última parte, esta parte última, vamos a ver dos cosas. Nos vamos a centrar en by the time, que es para cuándo, y luego el concepto de I got there, empleando el verbo get en lugar de to arrive, cuando mencionamos el lugar donde llegamos, ¿ok? By the time I got there, para cuando yo llegué ahí. By the time I got to the station, para cuando yo llegué a la estación, everybody had gone. Todo el mundo se había ido. By the time I got home, home siendo una palabra que no requiere preposición, igual que ocurre con there, para cuando yo llegué a casa, by the time I got home, my son had gone to bed. Mi hijo se había acostado, ¿vale? By the time, es una expresión muy útil de practicar así, con el verbo get. By the time I got there, by the time I got there, para cuando yo llegué ahí, ¿vale? La frase entera, si me da tiempo. What was the party like? ¿Qué tal la fiesta? It had already ended by the time I got there. See you soon.
Hey, how's it going? You want to know what the party was like on Saturday? Well, I ran out of petrol, so by the time I got there, it had already started. And by the time I got there, all the pretty girls had left. So, I called a few contacts, and by the time they arrived, the party was off to a great start. No wonder they wanted me to come. That's right, we say by the time for para cuando. By the time. Try it. Good. A really, really hot girl came over to speak to me, but by the time she finally did, I was already speaking to another girl. Hey, that's life. Hey, and then Miguel came, my friend, but by the time he got there, I'd already gotten all the girls' numbers. Miguel, you know me. Anyway, I should get off. By the time I finish, it'll be time for my first date.